Hello and welcome to the Knitting Traditions Podcast. My name is Inga and this is my little corner on the internet where I talk about my knitting. Today is a special episode that has been pre-recorded and will be released today, which is the 26th of September, and this video is a collaboration with Woolyknit. And we are hosting a knit along together that's starting today, and I'm thinking that we're gonna run it until the 1st of December. I think that's a good date. So approximately 2 months of this knit along, and there's going to be a hashtag for this. It's going to be WKxKT, and I'll have it here for those of you who are interested in participating, and it will also be all the information below in the description box. You just push the little thingy down in one of these corners and all the information will be there. So this is a knit along celebrating British wool. I'm a big fan of rustic yarns and natural fibres. And I live in Norway, where it's very easy to get your hands on affordable 100% wool. But I know that's not the case everywhere, and my friend was visiting from London and she was shocked by how affordable yarn was here. And I asked her, but haven't you heard about Woolyknit in England, in the UK? Because it's a mill in the middle of England that produces very affordable 100% wool yarns, and she hadn't heard about them. So I let her know, and I think she's already a fan. I find the British wool, or the British breeds wool from Woolyknit, to be very affordable. I've gotten several cones from them in the past, and even with shipping and taxes to get to Norway, it's still very affordable, because you can get 2 sweater quantities, or I can get 2 sweater quantities out of one 500-gram cone. And I'm actually wearing a Woolyknit garment that I have made in the past. This is the Ranunculus by Midori Hirose, and I knit this with one strand of, let's see, I have it here. So this one I bought, I think, a year ago or so. This is the light grey natural color in the British wool cone. So it was 500 grams, and I think there's like 300 or more left. So it really didn't use much at all. I used 5.5 millimeter needles for this, I believe. And this was when the pattern was only one size. So because this yarn is a fingering weight, it's a 4-ply yarn, it's not as oversized as the one in the pattern photo, but it's perfect for me. I'm usually, I would say, a medium size, and this one has positive ease. Surprisingly very warm, even though it's very thin, so it's a very nice layering piece. Let's see, we want to get all the information into this video. So if you want to participate, my patterns that I have, the cowls, the mittens, hat and socks, are 30% off until the end of September, so you still have like 3 or 4 days if you're interested. So you could knit something with British wool in those patterns if you'd like, or whatever you would like to craft. As long as you use some British wool, you can participate. And you can win a prize by using the hashtag WKxKT on Instagram. And at the 1st of December, I will draw the winner. And the winner can choose a prize from Woolyknit's website. So you can get in contact with me and them and find the prize. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a sweater quantity in form of a 500-gram cone. And I will correct that in the next video if that's not the thing, but I think that's what we agreed on. And Woolyknit is participating in hosting this, so You can use Inga20 as a code on their website from today until the 24th of October, I believe. I'll put the dates here and below. And that will give you 20% off their yarn. And you don't have to finish a garment to participate in this make-along. You just have to start and post a photo of what you've started using British wool. And British wool means it doesn't have to be Woolyknit, but so if you can't get your hands on Woolyknit yarn, if you can get your hands on any other kind of British wool, then you can use that for this make-along. So Woolyknit very generously sent me lots of yarn. So I am already in my head planning several things to cast on, because I'm going to be casting on with you and making along with you. Definitely a sweater and definitely one accessory. I just haven't decided which ones yet. But we have options. So grab yourself something to drink and let's get into all the potential knits. Okay. So first of all, we mentioned the coupon code on Woolyknit. They sent me lots of yarn. They have also involved I think it's like the British Wool Board in the UK, who is also excited about this celebration of British breeds, and I think they'll be looking at the hashtags and everything as well. And the yarn that you can use the coupon code for are the yarns that are British breeds yarn. They also have some acrylic yarns and stuff, but they focus mainly on British breeds, which is great because it's all about sustainable fibres and natural fibres, which I'm a lover of. So you can use the British wool cones, which are my favorite. They come in 500 grams. They also have the British wool hanks, if that's more your style. And they also have British wool Aran cones and British wool Aran balls that you can use this for. And they also have British wool hiking and Welly socks, which I have not tried yet. I haven't tried the Aran one yet either. I think... Is this the only thing I've knit so far with my British wool? I think so. I think so. But I will be casting on something in Aran weight as well. So they sent me a lot of yarn, so I think we should just get into it and maybe talk a little bit about what it could potentially become. So the first cone, and this is a different shape from what I am used to seeing. I'm used to seeing the more broad cones, so I am not actually sure if this is 500 grams. I think this one is. I have not weighed it. This is a very beautiful marled color, and this, I wrote the name into the ones I could find online. This is the Fenland Tweed 4-ply British wool, and it is a really nice tweedy color. I am thinking that this would make for a really interesting sweater held together with a mohair, so I might make that. I have several patterns in my queue. I have bought several patterns ages ago that I haven't knit with yet, so maybe this will reinvent itself as a sweater from my past. And I'll just put things on the floor. They also sent me this beautiful color. I don't knit a lot with purple myself, but this is really beautiful. It is a lot more heathered than it appears in the photos online. It has more of a darker bluish purple to this lighter. I don't know if it's showing up really well here either, but trust me, it's more heathered than in the photo online, which is why I thought I would show you all the cones, because maybe then you can see it a bit better. And I think this is the Lupin Lilac, the British Breed 4-ply. And I don't think this is a 500 gram cones. I think this might be 200 or 250. But holding it with a silk mohair, I should still be able to get a sweater out of this, for my size, that is. There was one more of these long ones, and this I believe is a color that I already bought from them last year. This is very much probably my favorite color. It's the cinnamon brown in the 4-ply British breeds, and last year I got this, and I believe they are the same. So this is 500 grams. I believe this must be 200. It definitely feels like this one is heavier. So I definitely have a lot of this color now. So I could get 2, maybe 3 sweaters out of this, or I could hold them double together and knit it up as a DK weight and open up lots of opportunities for DK patterns. Decisions. Oops. Let's see. They sent some Aran weight as well to try. This cone right here is their Aran weight in what I believe is the color Natural Cream. I believe this is the Natural Cream cone in the Aran weight, and they also sent me 2 balls of their Aran weight, because these come in cones and balls, while the British wool comes in cones and hanks, 200 gram hanks. So I have a plan for this because I've not tried the Aran weight before, and what I'm thinking is I'll open this first. I want to make the Sugar Boo Bralette by Kadri. Now, I've been watching a lot of podcasts in the past week when I've been off work, and I think it was either Pearl Jade or Copy Kelly is her YouTube podcast. Those are 2 great young podcasters out there you should check out. And one of them was knitting the Sugar Boo Bralette by Kadri. And this is the color Rust, I believe. I have 2 balls of this, and I think the size that I would make in the Sugar Boo Bralette would be needing 100 grams of the recommended DK or Aran weight? I don't know. Pretty much the same meterage as this though. I think this one has a few meters less, so this is a little bit more chunky than the recommended yarn, but I think it will work fine. So it said I needed 2 balls of it, and I have 2 balls of it, but because the meterage might be just a little bit short, I'm thinking I'll make the bralette. I haven't read through the pattern yet. I bought it, but I haven't read through it. If it's bottom up or top down. I'm hoping it's top down, so I could do the straps and the boobage area in the rust color. And then if I run out, I'll do the ribbed band underneath in the cream. I personally think that would be a really cute bralette. Yes, it's 100% wool. It's not cashmere and super soft or anything. The microphone fell down. Sorry. This isn't the most sensitive area. I'm a lot more sensitive up here, so I think I'll be fine wearing a Aran weight British breed British wool bralette. And it's really quite soft, I find. I think the Aran weight actually feels softer than the 4-ply weight. However, I find that the 4-ply weight feels a bit stiffer and thinner when knitting with it, but it bloomed it bloomed a lot with washing. It really filled itself out and became a lot squishier and softer. So if that happens to this as well, it's not going to be an issue for me. Yorkshire is where it's produced. It says on these ball bands. Often when you get cones, there's not a lot of information on them, but ball bands usually have a lot more information. So the Woolyknit Aran 100% British wool recommends a 5mm needle size, 18 stitch gauge. It's 77 meters per ball, and one ball is 50 grams. And this is the color Rust, and it's produced in Yorkshire. So a lot of information. Some cones have zero information, so I wrote it inside myself, just so that in the future, my memory is not really the best. So I can just look inside the cone without having to go online and search for the colorway. So I can be a better podcaster in the future and know the name of the colors I'm using. So yeah, I'm thinking of casting on the Sugar Boo bralette, and it should be quite a quick knit, seeing as it's a small garment and an Aran weight yarn. So I'll make like a little swatch using this yarn, because this I don't have more than I need, and see what gauge I get and if I need to adjust to make the bralette. I'm running out of floor space. Okay. Now, I have knit one half and half triangles wrap in a green and light gray color, and I love it. And by the time this is released, I don't know if I finished or if I'm still working on my second half and half, which is a light gray and turmeric yellow. I actually have one on my chair here. This is the first I made in the large size. And when me and the people behind Woolyknit started planning this, I immediately thought that it would be really nice to make a half and half triangles wrap using the British wool cones. It would be more of a rustic feeling shawl, because the linen quill in this is quite soft, to me at least. But it would also be a lot warmer, and I use these a lot as lap blankets. So I started planning for a third one. And the colors that I'm thinking of using are these two. Isn't this going to be very chic? At least that's what I'm thinking. So this is the black color. I think it's just called jet black. It's jet black. They also have a really nice charcoal one, but this is the jet black one. I've been wanting to get this for a while. I didn't get it the last time just because I think I got like 8 cones or something when I bought from them last year. But now, since we're doing collaboration, they asked me if there was something in particular I wanted. They sent me a lot more than I thought they would, and I'm very blessed, so thank you so much. But this one was one of the ones I was thinking about, and I want to pair it with this, which has the name Skiddaw Nep, and I think it's Skiddaw Nep Brown on their website. Inside here it says Skiddaw Nep, but on their website it's the Skiddaw Nep Brown together with the jet black. And I want to make the large size of the half and half triangles wrap, which is a free pattern from Pearl Soho if you also want to do the same. I'm gonna have plenty of yarn left over afterwards, even if I do make the large size. The large size uses less than 300 grams of fingering weight, and I have 500 of each of these. So I could probably make a black ranunculus with this after finishing the shawl, or one in Skiddaw Nep Brown. There's lots of possibilities out there. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. Knitting with black yarn can be a bit intimidating just because it's very dark and it's sometimes hard to see your stitches. But this pattern I think would be perfect for it because it's just garter. I usually do an I-cord edging on the side and then I do German short rows on the other side. But besides those two things, it's just knitting knit stitches back and forth. And I'm thinking I will start with the black yarn just because I live in Norway and we are losing daylight quickly. So I would want to knit this first and save this for the darker months. Because if I'm going to be honest with myself, probably won't finish it in time for the end of the knit along, but I will definitely get started. So this is one of those projects I know I want to cast on. And I'm going to be starting with the jet black, I think. I think it's going to be really nice together with this Neppy color. I did consider using a light gray, but I already have 2 half and half triangles using a light gray color, so this one is going to be different. And it's going to be big, it's going to be warm, and I might just use it as a blanket. So there's that. I'm gonna get rid of this blanket now because I'm warm. Very, very warm. Here's the other color that I considered pairing with the black. This is the light gray natural. Do they look the same to you? Yeah, I guess they do. Just one is smaller than the other. So this is the same cone. I bought this last year. I knit this sweater. There you can see the bottom. So it's not very cropped. It hits probably the top of my hip bones. Used a little bit more than 200 grams, I think. And which means I could hold this double for a DK one. So might do that in the future. But yeah. Ideas. So many ideas, so little time. What if I'm recording this whole thing and the microphone is off? Well, then you won't see this ever. Oh well. Next. They also sent me this beautiful color, and this color is probably one of my favorite ones from their website, next to the cinnamon brown one. I wanted to buy this cone last year, but they contacted me saying that they were out of it, but they had like smaller ones. So I got this last year. It's a lot more portable for sure, but I was a bit worried that it wasn't going to be enough because I kind of wanted to hold it double, I'm thinking. So now they very generously sent me one. So now I have enough to hold it double. And I like to knit directly from cones. You can of course wind it up into cakes, but I like just putting it on the floor and knitting from it. So now I can knit it holding it double if I would like to. I could also pair it with silk mohair, and I might do that, or I might do that as well. I don't know, haven't decided. But yeah. I was also thinking of making another half and half wrap in this, just because I really, really love this color. Did I say the name? It's the Loden Green. The Loden Green in the 4-ply. It's showing up a lot grayer on camera because we're losing daylight, but it's a really beautiful dark foresty green, with like little specks of yellow elements to it. It's really, really a nice color. But I mean, I already have I don't need 2 of the same, so I'm gonna make something else with this color. They sent me 2 more green cones. I know, it's ridiculous, they're so generous. This is the color Pine Forest Green, and if you hold them up next to each other, you can see that this is more of a bluish green and this is more of a It's really blowing out. I'm so sorry. But yeah, this is more green and this is more blue-green. And this is the Celtic green. And I believe the Creabea podcast, I believe she knit using this for her Billy pullover. Giving me ideas. This is really beautiful. Really beautiful. So, those are the 3 different greens that they sent. Pretty. So far down, I'm gonna fall off my chair. They also sent me this stunning cone. I'm not sure if this one is 500. It feels a little bit lighter, but it says 500 grams on it. It might just be more tightly spun onto the cone, but this is the burgundy red colorway. I think this is a really pretty color. It's like a very red wine kind of color, and it's giving me very autumnal vibes. Now, there is a pattern that I was gifted by Mint Knitwear, Melinda. She's a new podcaster on YouTube, so you should go check her out. She's lovely. And she has dipped her toes into the designing pool, and she created a sweater that she shared with me. It's the Francis pullover, and she wanted to give a discount code to you viewers as well. And I'm thinking of making this in the Francis pullover, so I'll put her discount code here and below. I think this would be really nice. Her pattern uses, I think for me, I would need 250 grams of a fingering weight, so this should be plenty. And then hold it together with a silk mohair. So I'm thinking maybe this color or maybe the cinnamon brown color would be really nice. That would look a lot similar to her sample color. But yeah, I think this would be really pretty. I don't really have many wine colored burgundy things, but it's a really nice color. And or I might use one of the neutral ones just to show off, because it's a textured yoke, so maybe that will show off better if I use a light colored yarn. I don't know, I haven't quite decided, but that is definitely one of the sweaters that I am thinking of casting on. I was also thinking of casting on the Brackenside Pines by Heather and Hobbs. That uses a DK held together with fingering weight, and it's 2 different colors, so I would need 2 colors in DK and then 2 colors in fingering weight. So I was thinking of maybe using the Pine Forest Green and one of the light, maybe the light gray as the fingering weight, but then I would need to find some DK weight to pair with it, so haven't quite decided. I have 2 more, I know, blessed, 2 more cones to show that they sent. There's this beauty. This is the burnt orange, and I did not buy this last time, but I wanted to, and it's a really, really nice orange. What else can you call it? It's a burnt orange. It's a lot brighter than the cinnamon brown if you compare them, but they're in the same family, if you know what I mean. This would also make a really nice sweater, I think. Or another half and half. I'm obsessed. The last cone that they sent me, I think, might not be British wool. I think this might be their merino yarn. I bought merino yarn from them last time when I bought yarn from them, and this feels like the merino. And when I looked at the colorways, it just got really dark all of a sudden, sorry. When I looked at the colorways online, I think this is the Mulhassan Undyed Natural. And it's just a really, really pretty natural colored yarn. because they do sell lots of beautiful colorways on their British wool and their merino wool and all of their bases, but they also carry undyed pure British breed colors. So yeah, I'm butchering it, but it's Mulhassen Undyed Natural, I think this one is. And of the yarn that I can say what I'm planning on doing. I'm thinking this might just become the Ilha by Orlan Sush. Am I saying that right? That's a sweater that's been in my queue for quite a while now. I really want to make it, and I think it would be beautiful in this natural color, and it's going to be so soft and warm. This one is definitely less scratchy, so I think it's a merino. It just has like a rounder feel, if that makes sense. And I think I got these two colors, or did I not? Yeah, this is merino wool, and I bought this last year, and this is the Mulhassen Oatmeal. This is British wool in the I think this is a mistaken tag. The tag inside this has pure Aran. This is definitely not Aran. This is the 4-ply. Maybe they have a colorway called pure Aran. They might. And I also have these two colorways that I bought from them last year. So this is a 4th green colorway from them. This is the dark apple green. It's not very dark. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color. And this is the dark gray natural. Yes. And I have used this for something because I have some caked up. I think I just caked up to swatch with it. There is this cardigan pattern by Petite Knit. I think it might be the April cardigan, and I'm thinking of using British wool together with a silk mohair for that. So that might just be in the future, either in this colorway or one of the ones that they sent me. So much love, so much lovely pure wool yarns. So I think that I've shown you all the colors now. You could go check out their website if you're interested. You get a lot of yardage for your money, even with shipping and taxes. Shipping to Norway and the taxes that we paid 25% of the total sum in taxes, plus like a fee for them to process it. So it's quite expensive, but still with that you get a lot of yardage for the total amount of money to spend. So I'm a huge fan. As you see, I've bought several cones in the past, and I really like this garment, and it's so warm. It's so thin but so warm. So I highly recommend it. If you can get your hands on any other British wool, then you can use that as well for this knit along. If you can't, then you can still participate in the rustic knit along that's running to the end of the year. But if you want to win a prize from Woolyknit, then use British wool and use the hashtag WKxKT. And it's until the 1st of December, I'm thinking. I think that would be a good time. And yeah, you can use their discount code INGA20 until the 24th of October. So that still gives you a month of knitting after that, a little bit more time. And yeah, don't have to finish it, just start making and sharing the love. And it really is a celebration of British wool. And I mean, I celebrate Norwegian wool all the time, and I recently knit something in Spanish wool. I really like British wool. I just love wool. I can't get enough of it, as you see. I just need more knitting time. So I hope you want to join, and if not, just make what you love and love what you make. And I will see you soon. Bye!